Oh, wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black.
MG. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and it is Thursday, and I am so excited to be, look at, let me tell you right now, everybody, listen up, go get your friends, because this is about to be a real conversation that I think so many of us need to hear. So I need you to go gather your friends, because, you know, like I always try to tell you, this is a dialogue and not a monologue. So I want you to talk back to me and talk black to me, but we need everybody. We need you to go grab your friends, tell them to come on in, because we're going to have a conversation that I think is going to really help our mental, our physical, our spiritual, our emotional, and guess what? Our financial. Because wealth is a holistic experience. It's not just about how much money you have, but it's about how you can take care of yourself in every different way that is important. And so what we're going to talk about is extremely important to your mental health, which is going to actually spill over to your familial, to your, you know, in every aspect of your life. Okay. But before we get into the conversation, before we bring some of these amazing, because I actually have a panel of really amazing minds that I think that you're going to relate to, each one on a different level. Before we get to that, I want to make sure that we shout you out. You know how it go. You know how it is. Where are you watching from? Because I know that we have people that watch from all over the world. Do we have people from across the pond today? Are you in Africa? Are you in Asia? Are you in Europe? Are you in the Caribbean? Where are you? So I want to recognize the folks who watch us every single day. That's number one. Okay. The other thing is, if you are a Black-owned business, if you have, you know, it's so funny because I go back and I look at the comments on these videos, and somebody said, "Oh, I didn't know this was a racist channel. You only want Black-owned businesses?" Yes, I only want Black-owned businesses. We see y'all businesses everywhere, but this is an opportunity for us to practice collective economics. So if you are a Black-owned business, or you know of a Black-owned business, I know you said 4 minutes CP time. Okay, Maurice. Okay, I see you. But we want to shout you out. The other thing, Maurice from Sarasota, we want to do is we want to add you to the Black Business Directory that my good girlfriend Tiara has. And if you have a Black business, we want you to send your information over to info@realvirtual.net, because we want to share your information, because the only way that we are going to make it in this world is if we practice collective economics. I think the message is getting clearer and clearer these days that we need each other to survive. It's paramount. And so if you're not doing business with Black-owned businesses, you need to start doing it today, because the myth that we're crabs in the barrel, the myth that we don't do good business, we are dispelling and we are busting those myths wide open. We do good business. We do support Black-owned businesses, and you guys are living proofs and living witnesses of it. So we want to make sure that we are promoting Black-owned businesses. Okay. What's up, Ohio? What's up? You said, I'm in transition, moving my sweet equity from supporting corporate to supporting let's go. Shalom said, I am investing in myself and nobody else. I love it. Yes. What's up, Tamara from South Carolina? What's up, Dennis from Minneapolis, Minnesota? Oh, we got 2 people in Minnesota. Okay. That's what's up. All right. Ladies. Okay. So I have a few people that I want to bring to the conversation. This is going to be an amazing conversation. And this is this was inspired. I don't know. Michelle Obama just started a new podcast, and she talks about a whole lot of stuff. And she was talking to Taraji P. Henson. But one of the things that really stood out was the idea of saying no. I think a lot of times, and I think we have all the right people to have this conversation. Too many of us have been taught that our value is measured by how much we give, how much we endure, how much sacrifices that we make for others. But today we're going to flip the script. We're going to talk about the power of no, the necessity of saying no, because every no to something that drains a yes to your purpose, to your family, to your legacy. Okay. So we think that no is the key to opportunity and connection acceptance, but I'm gonna tell you, every time you say yes to somebody else's agenda, you could be saying no to your own purpose, to your own peace, to your own prosperity. So we're gonna break the chains, but we're going to do it with a few of my good girlfriends that I love. Von Vito is watching from Alaska. You're such a liar. What's up, Von? But the power to say no. So I'm going to bring a few people out. So some folks that you know that come on here every couple times a week, and some that you don't. My first good girlfriend. Actually, I got a couple of people from Net 7 Collective coming on here too. So you're going to see the brilliance and resilience of the women who are part of the community that I love so much. We're going to bring Miss Brenda out. She's the CEO of ICSC Global since November 2016. She exemplifies the essence of servant leadership in the IT industry. I told you we got some brilliant women. She's leading with empathy. She leads with purpose. And she steers ICSC Global while simultaneously spearheading TCF lodgings, demonstrating her unique ability to balance technological innovation with human-centric. That's all really smart stuff. And I love it because she is brilliant. What's up, Miss Brenda? This is Brenda.
So Constance.
You know I love you, Brenda. You are absolutely amazing. I thought you would be a great person to continue and have this conversation today. So how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you today?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And then we have another one of our sisters, Miss Dr. Shirley Jones. What's up, Dr. Shirley? How you doing, Mama?
Good morning, Constance.
Good morning. Dr. Shirley likes to come on with me sometimes. Now, I don't know if you guys know, look at Dr. Shirley is a medical practitioner. She is a functional family physician that creates personalized plant-based programs to help you live a longer life with vitality. OMG, what's up? I cannot wait to have this conversation with you. So we got a medical professional. We have an IT professional. And then we have somebody else that I think is going to round up the conversation. What do you think? You think she's going to round up the conversation?
Of course.
Can anybody guess from the audience who we're going to have here that's going to round up the conversation?
APRILSAMPE. Y'all say one more time. APRILSAMPE. Y'all say.
Here she go acting up again. What's up, April Sampe?
Good morning. I just wanted to remind everybody that if you don't have this book right here, you're broke.
Oh my God. So we're going to have a good conversation because I watched this video. I don't know if you guys watched the video with Michelle Obama, but I thought it was a relevant conversation that I think we need to have as women, especially Black women, about the power of saying no. I had to learn, and I didn't learn it like no was a complete sentence until I was well an adult. Because I think a lot of times, just women in general, people are people pleasers. They don't want people to, they don't want people to be mad at them. They don't want people to not like them. But I thought there was some really interesting points on this conversation. I'm gonna show you guys a video, and I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on what she said. So when you talk about, the age, I was good and grown.
And at 60, I had to convince myself that I had done enough. After all that I had done in the world, I still felt a guilt, right? Struggling with like deep guilt that maybe I needed to do a little bit more.
Can we start off with the fact that she looks fabulous?
At 60?
I was about to say, how old? Yeah, she's only 60?
Yeah, she's 60.
Okay. I mean, no, I'm not saying that because I thought she looked younger, but I thought she was older just because, she's been in the public eye for so long.
Yeah.
But honey, she looks amazing.
He's older.
Goals.
Oh, okay.
Right, goals. I
Okay.
wonder, is she eating off of the diet that you have, Dr. Shirley?
No, but I wish she would.
So let me ask you guys, when did you guys think that, it was important for you guys, or were you guys people pleasers? Are you guys still people pleasers? Like, where are you with saying no? That's still a problem for me. I ain't gonna front. Like, what about you, Dr. Shirley? When are you good with saying no?
Now I am. Actually, in our book, Unbreakable, I talk about my problems with saying no. I was a people pleaser.
Mhm.
I allowed people to tell me who I was supposed to be, what place I was supposed to be in.
Mhm.
And I just went along with it because I didn't want to make any problems. I didn't want to face anybody. So I became small.
Mhm.
But as I got older, I realized to maintain my sanity, to step into who I am, I have to say no.
But that's interesting, you being a physician and you also being a people pleaser. But then on the same token, I would think, okay, well, she's a physician, so maybe her parents pushed her. Because a lot of times when, especially in certain cultures, and I know for you, Brenda, you're African descent. And so a
Yes.
lot of times, well, you're Ghanaian. Last night I said Ghanaian and she had to correct me, but you're Ghanaian. I
Yes.
gotta say it right.
Doing it.
Do you feel like there's a pressure for you in the culture that you were born into? Obviously, you were raised here, but the culture that you were born into, have you ever had a problem saying no?
Initially, like there are really strong cultural traditions and processes and things that from my family, from the region my family is from. So on my mother's side, we're from the Ashanti region, which is like the middle central region of Ghana, and my father's from not far from there. And there are expectations of things you should do and processes and practices and that kind of thing. But I think much like Dr. Shirley, you just get to a point and realize, well, I'll say this. Coming out of my divorce, when I made the decision that I was important to be happy, saying no wasn't saying no, was saying yes to me. So saying yes to what was going to make me happy. Yes to me, what was going to create an environment and a place that I felt myself, my children would be positive and healthy and would allow us to grow. So they exist and I navigate them. I navigated one not so well, but the person didn't see. I had to go visit my grandmother's grave, and I went and I didn't have somebody tell me you got to wear all black. It's 90 degrees. Like I didn't think about bringing black to Ghana. So she didn't see, but I'm sure she was happy I was there, and I conveyed that. And then moving forward, I
Like what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, April? Have you ever had a problem saying no?
100%. But I'll be honest, as a younger adult, I walked around with this really heavy bag, and it's gotten smaller over the years. In fact, I have it right here. It's I don't know if you all can read it. It's a bag.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and now that I'm older, it's completely empty. I can't even go to the store and buy any, because I have none to give. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
at this point, I'm very, very happy with saying absolutely not, because my bag of fucks is empty and I have no fucks to give. That's the only. So yes, I say no every chance I get. I say no just because it's Thursday.
See, I always had a problem. I have been a people pleaser. I was talking about somebody. Yeah, when I earlier in my career, I had been really fortunate to be really successful, and so I was a president of this organization. I was trying to bring all this information to these Black real estate agents, and then I remember there was an older lady there. She did not like me, and that used to hurt my feelings. And I used to be like, "But what?" Because I was a people pleaser. Why does she not like me? They don't like you because they jealous. My mama used to tell me when I was a kid, "Your cousins is jealous of you because you got a daddy and they don't." I didn't, because so she kind of messed that up, the idea of being jealous, of people being jealous of me. Because then when I got big enough, I realized they didn't care that I had a daddy. Kids don't care about that shit. So then that translated into me being adult and trying to figure out why, that people actually are jealous, right? Because of your success or whatever. Because I never even thought I had haters. Like, why would somebody hate on me? I love everybody.
No, I'm gonna put Constance's business out there, because Constance will walk into a room and people will absolutely hate on her because she's absolutely not only gorgeous, but extremely intelligente. For those of you who don't know, it's intelligent. And she just has the complete package, right? So people hate. She doesn't notice. Honey, I notice everybody that hates. And I'm like,
why do people have to? Ain't nobody thinking about me enough to hate on me. That's
everybody's
crazy.
thinking about you, Constance. Everybody's thinking about you.
Misery loves company. Misery loves company. So the thing is, the reason why they hate is because if I don't have enough confidence in myself, I want you to be the same way. And when you step out above me, it brings me to the light that I need to do something.
That's crazy.
Can I take it one step further though?
Yes.
I think that what happens is people allow whatever their thought is to grow legs,
Yes.
right? So it's like, I believe that regardless of if it's true or not, they will let something grow legs so long. And it's like, that never happened. Where did that come from? You literally made all of this up, and you haven't liked me because of a lie that you made up in your head about me just so you could feel better about yourself. Go sit your ass all the way down.
That does remind me though, because I remember somebody said, I know we don't get along, and I was like, we don't? I didn't know we didn't get along. Oh, shit. People beefing with me. I didn't even know he was beefing for real. Oh God, that was strange. I didn't know he was beefing. But I did have to have. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I did, like, my first lady of my church. Shout out to Trina Turner. She did have to tell me that no was a complete sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I had to get counseling on that.
Right.
Now, elaborate. What type of counseling did you have?
My first lady. I was like, but what if I have it? Cause so this is what people used to do. Here's an example. Like, my cousin would call me, hey, how's business? And I'd be like, oh my God, business is so great. I'm doing this, and all this stuff. And she was like, okay, now that I got that out the way, can I borrow money to pay my rent? Can I borrow $1,500? And I'd be like, yes. Right. So, then I'd feel obligated. And she's like, no. And I said, but what if I have it? She was like, who cares? No. And so that was a thing that I had to be able to say no. And she said, and no excuse. Don't say why. Don't say nothing. Just say no. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. And I was like, what? But no. And that's it. And you ain't got to be mad. You ain't got to fall out. You ain't got to fuck with nobody. Just say no. I remember that same cousin years later. I'm now going through the divorce. I just went through the divorce. I'm telling her all the horrible, crazy things that happened to me. I'm a whole hour. We hadn't talked for a year. Whole hour we talking. I'm telling her all this stuff. So she allowed me to get all that out. And she goes, okay. So check it out. Do you think I could borrow? I was like, no. You didn't.
No. And the proper response, my favorite response
That's what it was.
No.
Yes.
But thank you for asking.
Oh, I didn't even say that.
I like that. I like the ending.
I like that. Yeah.
I like the ending.
With a smile.
With a smile. And even if it's over the phone, they can hear you smile. Okay. That's one thing that I coach when we're talking about, like, sales. You smile when you're on the phone, right? No. Thank you so much for asking.
Now you patronizing them. Now you
Can I borrow $1,500? No. Thank you for asking. Really?
But I think part of it is, though, as we get older, it's the bag that April Sampay had. Like, you begin to understand that it is not, everybody else is not as important as you. Thank you. And once you really realize how important you are to yourself, then it gets easier to say no. Like, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay for someone not to like me. Everybody's not. I don't like everybody either. Yeah. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The fact that you said that, I think that's the funny part, right? And I'm putting myself out there. At one time, I did want everybody to like me. I really did. And then it hit me. Bitch, you don't like everybody. So why do you all of a sudden expect everyone to like you? In fact, some of the people you don't like, you want them to like you. What is wrong with you? Obviously, I was on some type of drug that I wasn't aware of. And you really have to think about it from that perspective. You want people to like you. You want everybody to like you, but you don't like everybody. Marinate on that for a minute. Because when you do, reality kicks in and you're like, it's okay for them not to like me.
Or it's not even about liking. Some people you just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they have nothing to do with your existence. You just met them 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because as you age, you have to choose who you need in your life to maintain your peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so sometimes, I don't care to get to know you. It's not that I don't like you. I just care not to invite you into my circle.
And it's okay. And it's
And
okay, right?
it's not always money. Sometimes it's time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just talk.
Sometimes your energy just don't match.
That
Right.
part.
Some people,
Say that
I
louder for
don't,
the people in the
I
back.
don't even argue with some people because I don't care enough to argue with you. I
It's a
don't
no
care
for me,
enough.
dog. I don't
You see what I'm
care.
saying?
Yeah,
And
I
so
don't care
that's the
enough.
no.
That's the no.
That's the no.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Let me ask you, let's look at this video
What
real quick.
happened that 8 years
Mhm.
that we were in the White House? What did that do to me?
Yes.
Internally, my soul, we made it through. We got out alive. I hope we made the country proud. My girls, thank God, are whole. But what happened to me? And maybe finally I'm good enough, right? And unlearning some of those messages that I've been saying to myself, and then trying to actively practice something different to rewire those neurons in my head that make me keep pushing and keep striving. And so practicing no in a very different way, intentionally.
That's interesting because remember yesterday we talked. So in Net 7, we do a lot of personal development around kind of changing the learning that we've had and the behaviors that we have, and being intentional. And I was saying to you guys yesterday, like repetition is the mother of all learning, and having to constantly being intentional about the unlearning of the things that were that put inside of us. Because I think April, one time you were talking about how when we were a child, how we were just we were so free, and all the things that were dumped on us, and why we show up in the way that we do. And here you have somebody as powerful as Michelle Obama, right? Just outstanding accomplishments. Everybody knows her all over the world. She's admired. But then on the other end, you've had some really horrible things that they've said about her, calling her a man, a monkey, and everything else. And for her, with the confidence that you think that she exudes, when she says they go low, we go high, her still feeling like she's not enough. How?
Well, I mean, but that's reality, though. My biggest issue with all of this is again, sales, right? I would always coach my people. You're only as good as you were yesterday. That's how everybody's going to look at you, right? And that's how everybody's looking at her. They only care about what happened yesterday. So she just said, what about the last 8 years? And everybody, the public is looking at it like, fuck those 8 years. You're here now. Why aren't you showing up to everything that we want you to show up to? And it's like, no, now, you know what? I have to protect myself and protect my peace. At one time, she was considered Black love goals. Everybody looked at the two of them like, that is couple goals. That's Black love. That is what Black love looks like. That's what real Black love is. And it still is. It hasn't changed. It's just the fact that she's not out and about flaunting it every 5 seconds because she's looking out for her. And I'm like, why is it that people don't give us that opportunity?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sorry to say it like this, because you Constance know that I'm totally against the whole Black woman, white woman, Black this, white that, because I'm like, we all have our own individual struggles for whatever those struggles are. But I will say, as Black women, we do have a heavier crown that we have to wear to keep up, right? Our crown is so much heavier than anybody else's crown. And nobody takes that into account, including the other women who are wearing the heavy ass crown. You get what I'm saying? So like, you're going to have to protect yourself because you're trying to hold this up and keep yourself together while somebody else who's trying to hold it up is like, yeah, you can't even hold up your crown. Like, if you look at it from that perspective, we all need to like give each other grace, give each other just the space to be able to grow and be the people that we are. Allow people to say, no, I'm not going to an inauguration that I don't believe in. It's okay. You know what I mean?
That was the best no that she ever said. That's the most powerful no.
Yeah. Shalom says she's given from the overflow of her cup instead of the depths of an empty cup. And so for you, like, so you guys are very accomplished. All three of you are very accomplished women. Do you find that you often suffer from, I'll say, that thinking of not being enough in some way, even though you've had such great accomplishments?
Can we start with all four of us? Because I don't like you said all three of you and didn't include yourself in that. So,
Thank
but I'm
you.
sorry. Continue with your question.
Yeah. So for you guys, you guys ever just being, just highly accomplished women, do you ever feel like you're not enough?
Yes.
I don't,
I don't know about y'all.
it's not that I don't think I'm not enough. It's that I haven't achieved what I want to achieve. I think I have, like, I don't ever lose the sense that I have the capability, the drive, the energy, thank God, the health and strength to do it. But it's more of an internal struggle of what I'm motivated to do. But I don't ever feel like, oh, I can't do that. I don't look at things that way. But that's just me.
Okay. What about
For
you,
me,
Dr.
I'm different from you all because I've been only self-employed for the last 5 years. So having risen up in the executive level in the medical field for large corporations, where I'm the only person that looks like me, the only person of my race among really a field that is basically male misogyny.
Mm,
Um, the environment basically make you think you're not enough.
mm,
And I'm like, I know I'm enough. I have more education than everybody up here at this level,
mm-hmm.
but it's constantly beating me, finding faults. And so it creates an imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
Mm.
And so you're like, I know how I have the training. I know I'm board certified. I have all the training. I've studied a master's degree in biochemistry. I've studied so much stuff. I have 2 BS degrees, and then I'm being questioned a medical degree. I did 3 residencies, and I'm being
Dang,
questioned
girl.
Dang.
about who I am. And then we are also afraid of saying no because of the angry Black woman. Because they want you to stay in the space because they think it's DEI. It's not DEI. I'm qualified. I'm
Right,
overqualified.
right,
So the
right.
thing is, so when you speak up, so they expect you to sit there, look a certain way, and not speak.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And when you speak, you're an angry Black woman because you're not supposed to correct me.
Mm-hmm. Which is true. And so a lot of Black women, we suffer from, have higher levels of stress. And I know that you could attest to this, Dr. Shirley, than
Mhm.
any other demographic group with 59% saying they feel stressed almost always or frequently. And then you talk about the strong Black woman often leads Black women to suppress their emotions and take on more responsibilities and neglect self-care. They all contribute to the risk of anxiety, depression, and health disparities. Also, Black women are the least likely group to feel supported at work, just like you were saying. And more than 60% say they feel pressure to prove themselves, what? Over and over again, often leading to the what? The yes syndrome. And then finally, I just said that one. And then, I did all of them. Burnout. Yep, I did all of them.
You see,
Oh, no,
it's a
no.
doctor in the picture.
Yes, exactly. Black women have the highest rate of hypertension and cardiovascular disease amongst all women in the US, and chronic stress, often from overcoming and not setting boundaries.
What about you, Constance?
What? Saying no?
So, well, I mean, let's just think. Let's look at it from the standpoint of you literally are on a podcast. What? If you ask me, what, 15 times a day? Right?
I heard 200, but go ahead.
Same. 215. You have children.
Mhm.
You are not only running a household, but multiple successful businesses. Do you ever have a time when you don't feel like you're enough?
Yes, it's exhausting. When I came last night, so we had net 7, and I shared with the ladies. I had just walked in here from going off on 2 of my kids because I find myself, because I'm not a yeller, I'm just a doer. Perhaps if I was a yeller, my house will be cleaner, my Kids will be more disciplined. They will pick up after themselves if I yelled more, if I
And they
got on their
might
ass,
have other issues. So
if I got on their helmets more, right? So I had just, I had told my son to, empty the dishwasher the day before. And so now I'm operating on 2 or 3 hours of sleep. And a lot of times I'll do all this stuff because I'm working from sun up to sundown, right? So I get up, I prepare for this. Then I have a real estate team, and then I'm maybe teaching the class at night. And then after we get off of our call, I will go in the kitchen, clean up, make sure the house is cool, and make sure the house is good before the next day. I'm picking up shoes. Sometimes my son will come. He'll have the basketball in the kitchen. He'll have his tennis shoes. He done left a trail. And I should go wake his ass up and tell him to come down there. That's too much work. Let me just go ahead and pick it up. And so then he's created these horrible habits. And it's exhausting, right?
I would rather have a child that has a few issues with not keeping the house clean versus the complete opposite. You know what I mean? So if that's what you have, if that's the concern, you have amazing children. I'm just putting that out there, but go ahead.
Thank you. And then I go to the basement because I don't go to the basement very often. And I see she hasn't picked up after the dog. And my daughter moved back in with me because I have a big basement. So she has her own place. She owns her own place. She's renting it out. When she had her own place, her place was spotless. So I'm like, oh, you want to disrespect my house? So I'm going off on everybody before I get up on the car. But I'm operating on 3 hours of sleep. And I was like, why do you guys do this to me? I don't like doing this. Why you guys make me just do what I say? So there does come time where, there's all of these things that are happening at the same time. And so there is the burnout and the fatigue and the stress because you don't want to say no. Like even with the second podcast that I do, I had to go down to just 2 days a week when I was doing 3 days. And so then they'll say, hey, Constance, can you come on today? Okay. And I don't say no. I'm always saying yes. I never say no to anybody. Anytime anybody asks me to do something, I've tried to say yes, but then I don't have time to do a lot of things and other things get neglected. Yes, I do that. So, and then if there's people that I miss, then they feel like I'm neglecting them. And it's like, no, it's just that there's so much. And sometimes it's just so much. And I don't have time to rest a lot. But, you just do. You just do. Like, what do I do? I mean, I'm a
power of saying no.
Yeah.
Oh, and honey, it feels so good. It feels so good when, especially when you really don't want to do it. I mean, you really don't want to do it. And somebody says, can you do this? You're like, oh, hold on, wait, this is my opportunity, honey. Hold on. Let me see. How am I going to say this? How am I going to say it? Woo! No. Like you just get excited to tell these people, absolutely not.
I like your other one. No, with the smile. Thanks for asking.
Well, so I got that from the bank. When I worked at the bank 200 years ago for 500 years, that's one thing that I would always say. My boss would call and say, hey, can you go and help out such and such branch? I already got all of these other branches that I'm managing and responsible for. You want me to take over that one too? No, but thank you for asking.
With a smile. So, I don't appreciate you asking me that. However, I mean, I guess it is, and I'm a work in progress. So I have not evolved in all areas of my life, ladies. I haven't. And so, I just got to be transparent. It's something, even last night, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my personal business out. We were on our call last night till 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, that was unacceptable.
It was crazy. But the funny thing is, at 11, when I thought I was going to just fall out and we started changing topics, I got energized because even though I was talking crap the entire time.
Yeah. And then I found out this is bad as me. So y'all need to get on her too.
No,
this is not about me, Constance. This is about you.
No, for real. No. But she has the same problem as me.
Okay, we might have to get on you.
She said, "Don't put her out there like that."
You can, but this is going back to us, right? And getting to a place where, as much as you've made everyone else happy, being in a point at some point at your day or some point in your week to say, "This is me time. This is I've got to say no so that I can take care of myself."
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you are the MVP of your household.
Right.
If you're not there, stuff ain't gonna happen. Clearly, the people not emptying the dishwasher.
Right. Taking out the trash.
And all the things. And when you look at all those health challenges that we as Black women suffer because of the stress, because we do and do and do and do. in order to just retain our sanity, even at some point, we've got to say, I'm taking these 30 minutes every day for me, or I'm not doing lunch. I'm not taking a call. You got to take your respite. Like recently, I just went to Ghana, and I'm fortunate. And first of all, I was like, oh, I'm upset my client doesn't let me work overseas. But then I didn't see the computer. Like I went on to do what I wanted to do. I wasn't trying to take calls. Like I'm not here. I'm not in the country. You can handle things without me. And it was I came back refreshed.
How long were you gone for?
10 days.
No, that's awesome.
And so it was funny because I've always said, oh, hey, we've got to take vacations. And this vacation, it really hit me up. It's so important. Even if you can't go out of the country, go down the street, go to DC, go to go to a hike, go to a park. I mean, something. But give yourself the opportunity to rest you.
Yeah. Well, actually, I appreciate you saying that as it relates to us taking time for ourselves, and a staycation can actually do it. But to your point, you had to have somebody tell you, no, I don't want you to take your business out of the country in order for you to sit your ass down. Mm-hmm. And so that was a blessing that you sat your ass down. And sometimes that's God saying,
you would have done it had she not.
Right. That's sit down. God is like, all right, you're done. But I will ask Dr. Jones, because I want to know when it comes to food, right? Telling people no sometimes will give you anxiety because you're afraid of what the other how they're going to respond, right? So if you're at work, if I tell them no, am I going to lose my job? Because we let things grow legs. And when they grow legs, we start to believe the shit that we done let grow. It's a thing. So what can we eat? What can we do to potentially relieve the stress and anxiety that we may have, that we've maybe created in our bodies? So what things can we do, like to calm down the inflammation?
Yeah. Good shit. Really quick, before she answers that question, we're going to take this gym commercial real quick. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The Wealth Map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. The reason why I do all of this stuff is because I want to help people and I want to be able to impact them to grow their wealth. And the reason why I have people like this is because wealth is not just about the financial piece, which I can help you with. That's the easy part. But it's also about your mental, spiritual, physical, all that, your wellness and all of those things. April, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm reading.
Are you learning how to grow your money, not blow your money?
Because if you blow your money, ain't a damn thing free.
I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. I had to throw that little gym commercial up in there because I had to use a bathroom. I'm not even gonna front to everybody. And I just want to give a shout out to my boy Von Vito. Von shared this to every single group, and Von owns like 100 groups on Facebook. He owns, and they be having 17,000 followers. So shout out to my boy Von, because he always be looking out for your girl. Okay, so please answer the question, Dr. Shirley. With all the stress that's going on, that we have to, deal with, Black people have the highest, especially Black women have the highest number of breast cancer. we have the highest hypertension, diabetes, all of these things, in addition to everything else that we're doing, always on the go. And the worst thing that could happen to us is something could happen to our health, and it cripples us, because we are oftentimes the glue that holds everything together. So what April brought up was right on point, because if we got to take care of ourselves mentally, financially, but our wellness as well. What can we eat?
Because first of all, it starts mentally, as everybody has said. You have to somebody said make enough money.
To go
That
to
part.
Stress doesn't go away.
Mhm.
It doesn't go away. So you got to prioritize what's important to you. So let's go back. You were talking about you are fussing. You don't like to fuss with your kids about not having the dishes done. Well, in the whole scheme of thing, in your piece, does it matter if the dishes stay another day or two?
Yes.
You have to think about that. Well, not really, because if you had an extra time, you could go get
Do
a
it myself.
massage. Right. You have to be intentional about your time, your space, because if you don't, you're helping everybody else. If you break down, everything is going to break
Right.
down.
I understand.
And so you have to be intentional about your health. And part of being intentional about that is prioritizing what's important in life to you. And as you age and start having sicknesses because you're eating the wrong thing, because what happens is when you're stressed, you fall back into a habit of eating what's comfortable, what's quick, which is all bad food, is all processed. So the thing is, as you know, with my program, I suggest to go plant-based.
What's your
even if it's
program?
not.
What is your program?
So my program is where I do a personalized plan for women who are over 45 who actually are lack of energy, problems with bloating, can't sleep, irritability. And I create a personalized program that's plant-based to help them break the cycle, release weight, get a lot of vitality. And on the same side, when you change to plant-based eating, you decrease your risk of cancer, you decrease your risk of getting diabetes, of getting heart attacks and strokes and hypertension, and then you live a longer life. And your lifespan actually is longer in vegans.
Okay, so would you say, like, as we get older, because again, we have the stress of the world on us, like we
Right.
take on everything as women, as Black women, and all of that. So as we get older, we have a higher chance of getting hypertension, diabetes, and all
Yes.
that. And so even if we have, of course, we need to reduce those stress factors, right? But if we have those stress factors and we're at least eating better, then that could actually help us. I know we got to reduce the other things, but if we at least start there, because that's something we can kind of control, right? We may not be able to control
But the
our
thing
job.
that you can control is your stress, because stress happens because you allow it to stress you.
Okay, so let's talk about how do we reduce the stress that we're allowed. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna tell you how stress shows. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna tell you how stress shows up for me. So last night when we was on the call, it starts with the shoulders. So they was on my helmet last night, y'all. Oh my God. These ladies were coaching me to get out. They was coaching me and they was like, well, Constance, you always tell us what to do. You tell us to get out of your comfort zone. I'm like, this ain't about me. This is about you guys. Like, what are you guys talking about? So
you need to use what I said.
No, nobody. Okay. I'm gonna just tell you, it was kind of like being open to date and stuff like that, because obviously I've been closed, right? So April's approach to April, tell them what you said that I should do.
Okay, you find someone that you actually would like to spend some quality time with, and you say, hi, what are you doing tonight? How about me?
So she wants me to go from like being this tight person to just being super open, and like, that's crazy. So the ladies gave me an assignment, and here's the thing. well, before I get there, so I could feel, and even right now, so I could feel,
Mhm.
this tensing up, right? So that's how stress starts. I feel that. And then if my cortisol levels increase, it shows up on my face. And I get hives and it's disgusting. It's really gross looking. And it's these white hives that I'll get all over my face and it hurts. And I can't even open my mouth or eat or anything like that. It is terrible. April's seen it and it is disgusting. And there's nothing I could, and I'd be like, oh my God, it's coming, it's coming. Woosah, pray, meditate, God, whatever, release, ground, whatever. And it's like it's coming. It's like something that's coming, and I see it coming, and I'm trying to say, I'm saying no, 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 and it comes anyway. And I'm like, I don't know how. What do I do?
Get a coach, enroll in my program.
Okay.
Because just like we get a
So we'll
coach,
help.
just like
eating,
we get a coach for you and for, you have to do the same for health.
So eating will help me with that. So eating will help me not to get hives when I get stressed out.
Yes.
I know.
Because you're removing a lot of the inflammation.
April will tell, because April's also a vegan. She'll tell you if you eat processed food and meat, it increases your cortisol because the body doesn't know what increase inflammation.
Dr. Shirley, can I ask you when you're eating and you're stressed, does your body not process the food differently versus if you're eating and you're not stressed? So doing things to help you calm down, like eating not in front of a computer screen or eating it without a television on, or having like the things that we did, before all the electronics, but doing that, won't that help you? Like, it just helps you digest your food better.
But the gut, we have found out over the last maybe 10, 15 years, is the gut is actually your major immune system. And that if you are eating the wrong things, the processes that the body needs to keep you, the cortisol levels are down, just aren't there because you're full of inflammation. Yeah. And so you have got to do things to get the inflammation down, because it's like a person, like I've had a patient who had lung cancer, and he continues to smoke, and he tells me, well, why stop? I'm dying anyway.
Okay.
It's the same thing. So you kind of just build on. You got to get to the root cause of it. And then you got to start with the eating. And you don't have to be. So a lot of people are scared of the word vegan, and they're scared of the word. So I use plant-based, but you can give up meat twice a week.
Okay, you can start there.
Can I add something to that for those of you who are listening? When she says give up meat, that does not mean to replace it with fake meat. That does not mean replace it with something processed. If you have something processed, it is processed because maybe you processed it yourself. What does that mean? You can make a vegan burger patty with actual whole ingredients, and you can process it down to a burger patty. Then your body will still be able to your body will process it. Your body is the process. So, a lot of times people will say, oh, well, I'm vegan. You're a junk food vegan. And don't get it twisted, because I will junk food it out every once in a while. But I also will take foods and I'll take mushrooms and create a masterpiece. Don't over process your life by switching to a vegan lifestyle or a plant-based lifestyle and making your life even worse, because now you're just eating chemicals that you don't even know what they are. I'd rather eat.
But that's why you need a coach. That's why you need a coach to help you do that. Because if you've never had that lifestyle, how do you know what to do? How do you know how to make a burger? How do you know to go buy walnuts, soak them in water, put them in a food processor, add spices, and you can make your patties? How do you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, I would know. I'm going to call you.
What's a flexitarian diet?
It's
a plant-based a few days a week.
Okay, so that's what that is. Okay.
But any reduction in meat, because meat is the thing that's processed, that is, well, not processed, but it's processed to our body that causes inflammation. Cholesterol only comes from meat.
So, Dr. Shirley, can I ask you just a distinction? When you
Yes.
say meat, you're speaking of the red meats, but
Anything that
so
has a face,
okay. So
that
then
had a
is
mouth
fish an
and a
issue
face.
too? So fish is a
Huh?
bad thing too? Is fish bad
Yes.
also?
Yes.
Mercury? Is it because of the mercury?
Yes, mercury. And a lot of the farm raised fish, they don't clean those things out. They let them poop, and then they know that they're in their poop. So then they add antibiotics so they won't get sick. And so now you got pesticides, antibiotics, and that leads into what I was going to talk about, the EPA.
All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what's going on with the EPA, Dr. Shirley.
I don't think a lot of people realize what the EPA really does for our country. So that's the Environmental Protection Agency, right? It makes sure that the people in this country have clean air, clean food, clean land, so that the food and the animals that we eat don't have toxic chemicals that cause health problems. So back in 1994, Bill Clinton created a DEI program to help protect the Black and brown areas. Because as you know, any land that's on the other side of the railroad tracks, that the land value is not much, usually is where we live. So what these companies do, they come from overseas, they come within the United States, and they are put their rubber products and they dump toxic chemicals into those areas. And if people aren't living there, they will go put low income housing there. They have increased risk of cancers, heart attacks. A lot of these people die early, like in their 70s, in their 40s and 30s from cancers.
Yeah.
And so the government in 1994 with Bill Clinton created a bill and policies where the government goes back and hold these companies accountable and sue them and make them pay and to clean up the land. The first executive order that by the present president did away with all of that.
Wow.
All the funding. So there is a cancer alley that's between New Orleans and Baton Rouge that they had all the funding. It was like $2 million or $4 million to help them clean up the land. All of that was stopped.
Yep. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I seen some documentaries on Cancer Alley, Dr. Shirley, and it is tragic because they are, I seen it there in that New Orleans. And they have all these, and people are like, why don't they just move? It's not that easy to pick up and move your life if you cannot afford to move your life. And so they're seeing their family members drop at 30 and 40 years old and having shortened lifespans because of Cancer Alley. And why don't they care about Cancer Alley? Because there are Black people living in these cancer zones, because you have, just like you said, these rubber companies and all these toxic companies that they move right in the ghettos or in these Black neighborhoods. And so the EPA was supposed to be cleaning them up. And Trump said, that's DEI. That's the disgusting DEI. We're not going to clean it up in those Black areas because that's DEI. So let them die. And that's part of, the eugenics of what Project 2025 is and has been. That's eugenics. That is an intentional means to kill off, genocide Black people. There is an intentional plan to try to kill you guys off because the browning of America is in effect. Low birth rates, higher, minorities are coming in. That's why he's importing. That's why he's saying, hey, white South Africans. He didn't say Black South Africans. White South Africans that have 80% of the land in South Africa, but are only 2% of the population. Come over here to America for free. And then for all of you Hispanics, you guys got to get out, and we're going to put you into these. These camps where 75% of the people who are put in the camps are not criminals. So this is all by design. So for Dr. Shirley, I mean, that's a real thing, you guys. So Dr. Shirley came in and she said, listen, but we didn't get a solution. There she is. She's back. Because so for the, because the way she just straight
The
bounced.
government.
She said, I'm gonna do what I gotta do and I'm bouncing. All right. We need a solution for Black people, not just who are in the cancer alleys, because that's a small percentage of us. Whoever's over there.
Flint. It's all over the world. All over the United States. Flint. They still don't have clean water. Most people, most people know. Because if you think of your average, even in San Diego, there's a Hispanic community. Like when they run these internet the interstate straight through people's communities.
Mm-hmm.
That increases your air pollution.
Yeah.
So you're breathing that. Your kids are getting asthma.
Wait, so what is the solution? Because I think that my biggest issue, and Constance hates when I talk about this. We know what the problem is. What's the solution? Because I would say
we have to vote locally and hold our local people accountable so that they can push our, get together nonprofits to sue the government.
What else
about
can we
taking
do?
away?
But what can we do, like physically? So if I'm in an area where there's high pollution, like California, there's high, and even when I left California, like I felt like I was allergic to California. I think the pollution was so high, but my body is just doing a lot better not being in California. But what could I have done in areas where there's a lot of plastics? I remember you were talking about plastics and
plastics,
trying to drink bottled water. What can we do in those environments where we have high toxins?
Pretty much move.
Oh,
because if the land
can we change our diet?
No, how are you going to change your diet? Because the food that they get from the area, let's go to Flint. They're on one water system. How are you going to get water there? They're bringing them bottled water in plastic.
I would say, to your point
have to
earlier.
Vote.
No. That's that part I get, right? I would say, because there are, to your point earlier, yes, we have to vote, but you can't vote every single day. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like if that was the case, we would be voting right now. But it's like, what can we do in the meantime? And so my solution, even though in some states, like I'll use Maryland, for example, you're not supposed to collect your own rainwater, right? But I would say start collecting your rainwater.
What does that do?
But the problem with that, the rainwater is contaminated.
Where the rainwater is contaminated, it's still going to be less contaminated than the rain that you're getting from out of those from out of the cleaning, sewage. Whatever. It was really a sewage.
So you can get filters. You can try to get filters.
Buy some filters. Start collecting your rainwater and start growing your own fruits and vegetables. The problem is, because I run into people all the time. I live in down to the Augusta, right? In the Augusta, you have a lot of people that are like, oh, I would never eat like that. I would never eat vegetables. I'm not naming names, but they might be on this, platform right now that would never, ever, ever fast for multiple days. I'm not naming names. Okay. She might have braids. I'm just putting somebody out there. But fasting and getting your body accustomed to the fact that like you don't have to always eat because sometimes your body needs to rest. I think that that's because your point is valid, Dr. Shirley. Like we do have to vote. We do have to vote locally, and I don't think enough people do. But what are we going to do now? You know what I mean? And somebody asked, James Johnson was saying, is it just American meats? Really? Yes. I mean, sorry to say it like this.
Well, no, it's not. It's
no. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about, he's saying
China gives us a lot of seafood.
I'm talking about how, like, if you go to other countries, if you go to Europe, Europe and you eat their meats, it's not going to be nearly as bad as it is here because we pump it up with everything because our focus is money. You know what I mean? You go to other places and they're organic. Everything is organic. Like you don't have to worry about your animals eating the grass, because the grass is perfectly fine. They're not putting any additional chemicals in it, which is why if you go to, I'll give you an example, Italy, and you're eating pasta, people here have what is it, celiac? That's like celiac, right?
Yes,
So where you have inflammation of your your intestines, and the problem with that, with having that celiac, is you can't eat any gluten, anything. But yet you go over to Italy and you're eating the exact same thing that here, if it touches your mouth, you are having problems for days. Blue zones, like if you go to Greece, there's certain parts of Greece that have blue zones, and blue zones, they still eat fish. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll still eat certain
but it's
things.
not our
They
fish.
drink wine, they do everything.
So
There's
Dr.
one
Shirley,
place
can you tell
in
people what a blue zone is?
California
California.
that's a blue zone.
Yeah.
That's the only place in the United States.
What's a blue zone for those?
So a blue zone is where the average age of where people are sustained well over the age of 100 in larger groups. There was a documentary, I think, on Netflix about it, and it's phenomenal because it really kind of helps you better understand how to navigate and how to ensure that you're constantly moving through life, so that 120 is not something that's abnormal, but it's something that you can do. I did want to follow back up on your question, though, with Dr. Shirley about how you could do things differently. Are there foods that you can eat when you're in those areas that can work to better detoxify your body, so that, I mean, you can't, you just can't get up and move, right? But are there things that I can naturally eat that would help me try and shed this, what's in the water or what is in my system, to help me just live better and healthier as much as I can in that kind of situation?
So that's not a global question. So that's hard to answer that question, because it depends what your toxic chemicals are.
Okay.
So you have to find out what is it in your land and whatever. Because say, for instance, I think I was on this show before doing the fires in California. And we talked about getting the filters, wearing the mask, and the types of masks to wear, because it wasn't a forest fire. It was burning of buildings and chemicals in. So it depends on what is your toxin. So people have to be aware of what their toxin is, and then you have to seek out ways.
But isn't there a baseline, though, of where we should start?
Because if mine's is land, is not the same thing as breathing.
Yeah. Well, why the hell am I going to become a vegan then if globally?
Because your body will.
But you don't live in those areas.
You don't live in those areas. There's areas, I think, in South Carolina where there's issues with cancer and bad air pollution, because there's large numbers of raised chicken houses, and they're notorious not only in terms of their dumping, but then the poop of a chicken are really, really high in methane. And so, and it gets seeped into the water system. So then there's different things in that scenario you would do versus like a power plant or a rubber plant or something along those lines.
Right.
There's a testing that you can do too. I remember, I forget what it was. It was a testing that you could see. It was an allergy test, but it was a test to see what, I forgot what it was called, but what agreed with your body. In fact, I have a bunch of them in there because I think my son has some gluten issues, but you can see, forgot what it's called. But
yes, that's what we do in functional medicine.
Yeah. So
need,
what is that called? What is that test called? Huh?
There are a bunch of tests we do. We can tell
there's
you
a blood
everything.
test. There's a blood test, and then it'll tell you, because I remember this, like if you get migraines and you're like, well, I don't know when you eat this type of food, I took this out of my diet and now I no longer get what the testing, I forget what the testing was, but I have the things, and I've had them for years. They may not even work no more, but like
those are not good tests. Those not specific enough. We can order the real test that you need, and we can tell you everything that's in your body. That you see, the problem is everybody's trying to do stuff because they go Google. With the Google, you got to have the education to do it. True that. That's what we do.
We're all doctors now. We're all doctors because of Google.
Just like you have to have a coach for.
What is it? Something MD, WebMD?
Yeah, WebMD.
WebMD will have you absolutely. You'll be a hypochondriac.
Crazy.
Dr. Shirley. So just for my own information, where would I go? So let's say I would want to schedule an appointment with, I'm just making it up. If I wanted to schedule an appointment with, I don't know, you, what would I do? How would I do it?
So with me, if you're serious only, www.askdrj, AskDrJ.info.
Oh,
And
AskDrJ.info.
And I like how she said only if you are serious, because please do
Only if
not
you're
waste your
serious.
time. You see, listen, she got a white coat and everything. Do not bother her, okay? Do not do it.
She's saving people. She needs to know.
Right.
Yes.
She is saving lives and changing lives.
She sent that thing to Net 7. I know everybody's like, oh yeah, it's I gotta get my appointment in.
Oh, I got my appointment Monday.
See, ain't nobody playing. Nobody is playing about their health these days, because again, health is a holistic experience. It's not just about, the things that you do to get money, but it's about the things, it's the stress in your life. It's the ability to say no. It's you taking control over what we're putting into our bodies. It's what we're listening to. Are you listening to things that are going to enhance your life? Life and death is what you're saying. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. It's who you interact with. It's who you surround. I'm so fortunate that I get to surround myself at least 2 times a week with these ladies, because you see how intelligent these women are, like accomplished, intelligent. My network is fire because I get to interact with these ladies, and the resources, y'all, when we're inside Net 7. Like, what happens if somebody has, I need this or I need that? There's always somebody there. Oh, I have this. I can help you with that. That's the amazing thing. And so us surrounding ourselves with people that can help us. I could call Dr. Shirley, Dr. Jones, and say, listen, I did. Because I was having some back problems. After she was on the show, she was talking about medicine killing you. And I was like, shit, should I go to the doctor? She's like, girl, if you don't take your ass to the doctor and quit playing, I was scared. But I have that network within my network because of ladies like this. So I'm so grateful to you all. First of all, I'm grateful. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I wanted to say before we do check out, we have an event coming up where actually people can come and meet the ladies.
Yes.
It's going to be June 5th, right?
Yeah, y'all. So it's so cool. So we're doing a little Net 7 anniversary week getaway retreat type thing. So all the ladies are going to be flying in from all over the country. We're going to be hanging out. So April is going to be performing at the Capitol Jazz Festival with Malcolm Jamal Warner. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know. If you don't know, now you know. And so that weekend, we're going to be getting together. It's going to be so fun and amazing. And we're going to be doing a bunch of fun stuff. And then we're doing a mixer on June the 5th. And it'll be an opportunity for you to meet Dr. Shirley, for you to meet Brenda, for you to meet April. And by the way, April Sampay is going to be performing at this mixer. I don't have the link for it just yet, but you have the opportunity to see April. And I don't know if you guys seen April perform, but she's pretty amazing.
We have to talk about that.
Who call it good addiction? It turn me on when they run me like a ninja. Nothing make me want to take a stand more than that, man. Every single moment just I'd rather be with you.
Said I'd rather be with you. So we actually get to experience April Sampay. And I'm telling you, I go to some concerts, but this one right here is amazing. So anyway,
hold on. The biggest part of all of this, there's a few things. Number one, the ladies are going to have their book. So, Constance, you got it in front of you?
What?
The Unbreakable book.
Always.
Y'all.
Dr. Shirley, where's yours? Don't play with me. Don't play with me, Dr. C. See?
When I tell you, the ladies.
$5 violation. $5 in the pot.
When I tell you that these amazing humans have put together words that make you realize, you know what? I am unbreakable. I can say no, and I'm better than I've ever given myself credit. Just off that book alone. So that's number one. Number two, the women who are part of this, who you will get a chance to meet, they have intelligence on levels that you would never imagine. We got IT people, we got doctors, I'm just saying, we
entertainers,
we have attorneys, we have chefs, we have people. Listen, you need an outfit? I'm just saying, whatever you need, we got
designers.
It's levels upon levels upon levels. And just to be in their presence, I think,
So,
listen, if you want to learn, this is, y'all, listen, come close. If you want to learn how to take trash and turn it into money.
listen, did we not hear about that last night?
Vanessa.
Found out about somebody. I ain't making this up. Bought something for $2 and sold it for $100. I'm telling you, you can turn somebody else's trash into someone else's treasure.
Absolutely.
This group will learn you how to make yourself a millionaire. You might learn how to speak in proper English, but I'm trying to tell you, this is amazing, and you all should be in the building.
I love it. You know, if we're gonna end this because I know we got to go and we got to get to doing some revenue generating work because this doesn't generate revenue for us. However, we do love to come and just share, you know, any kind of expertise that we have. Anything that you want to share with your experience and being a part of the group, and where can they find you and how can they work with you guys? I'll start with you, Miss Brenda.
So you can find me at tcflodgings.com. That's our affordable living real estate business.
TCF Lodgings.
And then also at ICS Global, which is our IT organization. We do trainings on Agile certifications. I do want to drop a little bit of a joy point. So I have been in at 7 now, just around about 2 months. And read the book that Miss April Sampay held up. I didn't make it through the whole book, but my score has gone up 70 points. So thank you, my dear.
Hey!
With that, I do have to go be billable. And so I will leave you all. But yes, it is a great organization, amazing women. We're supportive. We are growing together and really looking to make sure we help people build generational wealth. So thanks all.
See you, girl. All right, Dr. Shirley, what about you?
This has been a wonderful, life-changing group. It is so great to be with women that truly care about you and care about you moving to the next level, to the net 7. And with Constance as our leader, she really cares about us and she keeps us accountable, because it's so easy to have a bunch of women who are just leaders in what they do. And a lot of times we don't have people that are accountable to, because we call the shots. And it's good to see other women because we share the same sufferings and the same just normal things. Like, you know, not feeling enough, like dating, whatever. We support each other. And that's just finding a tribe is everything.
Yeah, but it's all of everyone. So, you know,
It's
April,
all of everyone.
yeah, that's the biggest thing I think is just our network of women and having iron sharpen iron. You know, I just get fueled and energized every time I'm amongst these beautiful, great women. And, you know, I think we're all unicorns, and there's these unicorns that are in different places in areas all over the country, and for us to be able to come together and be unicorns together. And there's no hierarchy. There's no big eyes and little U's. Like, even with this last time, like the last call, it took like normally takes 4 or 5 weeks before we even talk about what it is that we do. So nobody knew that you were a doctor, or we had a lady who hijacked a plane, or nobody knows, right? Nobody knows until, you know, we get familiar with the woman. Because who are you without the title? Who are you without all those other things? We are all just women who want more. And that's the thing. April, you got any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, number one, schedule your appointment with Dr. Shirley.
Boom.
If you're able to, I would say definitely start there. I think it's important, it's necessary, and if you want to feel better about yourself, feel better. This is a way to feel better. Number two, I would say learn how to say no. Practice it in the mirror. Ask friends of yours to call you and ask you to do things that you know you don't want to do, so you can practice saying no and feel good about it. Also, ladies and gentlemen, that bag of fucks that you've been walking around with, throw it away. Throw your bag of fucks away. Get rid of all the fucks that you've been walking around with, and get rid of them. Just get rid of them. And follow me, please. April Sampe. And and if anybody wants to purchase a property,
Thank you. I was gonna ask, how can I work with you, girl?
Yeah, my apologies. Any state that you're in, it doesn't matter. You can go to aprilfosterproperties.com and schedule a Zoom meeting with me. I look forward to it.
Wonderful. Thank you. So listen, I would say literally, I am the luckiest human being on earth because number one, I'm in alignment with my purpose. So I get to be and live and walk in my purpose every day. The other thing is I have some amazing, beautiful children that I love to death, even though they trifling and lazy and all that other shit. They're also amazing. But today and 2 days a week, I get to celebrate with women like this who are just amazing and who just continue to feel me. Y'all listen, last night we stayed on the call till 1:00 in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, it's 1:00 in the morning. They're coaching me. And let me just tell y'all, so they're coaching me on how to just be more approachable to the opposite sex, right? And because I was married 132 years and I'm basically a teenager when it comes to that social interaction with the opposite sex. And so they gave me some assignments and I went to sleep thinking that I was actually in reality and that I was completing the assignments. And I had this trepidation in my stomach and I was really nervous in my dreams. And when I woke up, I was vastly disappointed because I had finished a part of the assignment and it was just a dream. So I was like, God dang it, I got to start over. Because it was really real in my dream. What they told me to do, it was really real. Now I got to do it. So when I go out in the world, I got to do some things that they told me. And they're like, Constance, you always be coaching us, telling us we got to be out of our comfort zone. You got to be out your comfort zone too. So I have an assignment this week. And
you're going to walk up to the cute guy and say, what are you doing tonight?
No.
How about me?
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. However, so you guys, I appreciate you. And then, so the Acorns, I'm sorry. Thank you for asking, lovely JR. The Acorn session is actually postponed because I totally forgot. I'm speaking at Melanin Con tonight, Melanin Con tomorrow and Saturday. And I totally forgot. So I double booked myself, guys. So we're going to move the Acorns for beginners for next week. Go to constanceteaches.com. For the Acorns for Beginners training. So go to constanceteaches.com because the Acorns training is actually going to be next Friday. I'm going to be speaking at Melanin Con today. Well, today is just the mixer. Tomorrow I'll be speaking at Melanin Con. So this is where I will be. So if you are in or around Washington, D.C., please join us for Melanin Con. Also, if you're in the Miami area, I was hoping I'd see Dr. Shirley because she's actually in Florida, but she's not coming. I'll be speaking at the Economic Elevation Summit with Dr. Boyce. And then this weekend, Dr. Lene Javette is having Black Power, which Brenda, who was here, is going to be speaking on AI because she's an IT professional and she's really smart. And so if you want a 50% discount on this conference, just go to Black Power, POWHER.com, and then put Constance in as your coupon code and you get $50 off. You get half price. So go to blackpower.com and 50% off. Any final words? No? You guys good? You guys good? Okay. We'll see you on Monday. I won't be here tomorrow. Let me just tell you this. So April's always on with me a couple times a week, 1 to 2 times a week. But Dr. Shirley, if you guys like Dr. Shirley today, Dr. Shirley is going to be on with us every Thursday because we know it's important for, as we talk about different ways that we can improve ourselves, that we really talk about the health, how we can improve our health. So she's going to be giving us health tips every Thursday. So make sure that you are engaged and you send this out to your loved ones because listen, our people are dying off. There are some intentional things that they are doing to kill us off. And again, they done fucked around and gave us the internet and they gave us Dr. Shirley. So
that part
right there. So she's going to be on with us every Thursday, just sharing some health tips that we can utilize so that we can grow our health. And then you go to askdrj.info if you want to schedule a consultation with her to, get a personalized schedule for you to start getting into your health journey right now. It is never too late as long as you have breath in your body. She's helping people reverse diseases, illness, cancer, diabetes, hypertension, all that stuff. Okay. So if you
serious inquiries only.
Listen, she ain't playing with y'all. Don't be bobbing her if you ain't serious. We're gonna end with this.
Who call it good addiction. It's me on when when they run me like a ninja. Nothing make me wanna